Rise and Shine Rwanda, it's Wednesday, the 4th of November.
Good morning, it's just after 7 o'clock in the morning and you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Ivan Magwene.
And me, Yvette Shimbusho.
Over the next hour, we'll bring you all the latest news, sports and business headlines from here in Rwanda and around the world. So Yvette, what do you have for us today?
So imagine this. You want to go shopping for groceries, but you're not able to. And then you do it online and they deliver to you.
All right, so we have online shopping right now for groceries?
Yes, I'll tell you more about that.
Sure, what do you have for us?
This weekend is going to be really big in the fashion industry, and we get to see more about that.
I'm pretty sure Moses has a lot for us in sports today.
Absolutely, yes. Coach John McKinsley, the coach of national team, has named 23-man squad that is playing Libya, and also more to come in European football and soon in details.
All right. Well, all that, more, and still to come. But first, Rise and Shine, story of the day. Every year, the World Bank's Doing Business report is published, and economies are ranked on their ease of doing business in 189 countries. Therefore, countries which are ranked top within the ease of doing business can indicate that the regulatory environments are more conducive to the start and sustainability of local firms. The rankings are determined by sorting the aggregate scores on 10 topics, each consisting of several indicators giving equal weight to each topic. Now, joining me in studio today is Kenneth Agutamba, Senior Economy and Business Writer at The New Times. Welcome to the studio, sir.
Thank you.
Now, I would like to first of all get into the report. I want to have, first of all, your own perspective view when you first saw the report as a business journalist.
Well, I think from a business writer's perspective, this is always a big story whenever the report comes out. And the most important thing is that the report is growing older and more important because the latest report is the 13th edition. So that shows that it's been around for the last 13 years. Now, the most important thing is that 13 years ago, before we had, or when they first introduced the Doing Business survey, the World Bank, all countries, the 189 countries you're talking about, world over, especially in sub-Saharan Africa, there was a lot of what we call red tape. In simple language, call them roadblocks to business. You know, someone wants to do a business, but there are simply too many problems. And these ones were making it hard for countries to attract investors. So 13 years down the road, countries have realized the importance of having friendlier, less burdensome regulations so that they can foster, businesses to prosper, so that they can have the best and probably the most attractive business environment. So the latest report we are seeing is literally saying that 13 years after introducing the Doing Business survey, are countries improving? Are they doing better? Do they have better doing business environments? And for Rwanda, unfortunately, this report says we dropped, our global ranking.
And exactly, that's where I was coming actually.
Dropped 7 points from number 55 last year to 62nd this year.
Yes, and which actually leaves me now going deep into the real questions of where do you think we might have gone wrong? I've seen all the indicators, what they follow in terms of rankings, but in your own business world, do you think doing business in Rwanda is getting better, or somehow, somewhere, we lost track of what was taking place?
I think it's a choice on how you choose to look at it. Because there are about 10 indicators, and we improved on 4 of them. we dropped on 5 of them. We dropped on 5 of them, and there was no change on one.
Yes.
Now, if you look at the 4 where we improved, because you're not going to score 10 out of 10 on all 10, but you're probably going to undertake a bit of reforms on one indicator where you feel you needed to do a lot. Because remember, countries were evaluated on what they did, which reforms they put in place between June 2014 and June 2015. So 12 months, what did you do to improve the doing business environment in your country? And the verdict is that we improved on 4 of them, we didn't do well on 5 of them, and we didn't change on 1 of them. So the question of whether things are getting worse or better, I wouldn't put it that way. This kind of study is quite complicated because it's a competition. It's a cutthroat competition. All 189 countries are looking to be the best.
Exactly. Now, we're in a competitive world, I understand.
Exactly.
But how much does it take Rwanda to keep up the same position? Now, we're dropping down seven places down. That's a lot. To me, a country dropping from 55 to the 62nd position. I mean, there's got to be something that went wrong somehow, somewhere.
You have to look at which indicator, or for example, where did we drop most? And I think it's trading across borders, where we dropped about 7-9 points.
Yes.
But it's not up to Rwanda when it comes to trading across borders.
But we're doing better than I think we've ever done in terms of cross-border.
No. For cross-border, you have to look at it as it's collective for all the countries in the East African region. It's not up to Rwanda to, for example, address some barriers to trade. It's up to all the 5 partner countries in the ESC. If Rwanda does its best and the neighbors don't do that, obviously you're going to drag one country down. And I will show you, much as Rwanda dropped 7 points down, it is still the best ranked country in East Africa. That tells you something. And also you have to put in consideration that 2 years ago, the World Bank decided to change the methodology on how they count this. Rwanda used to be in the top 40, before 2 years ago. Last year, when they changed methodology, the report came and we are number 55. Now, this time around, we are number 62. So that will tell you that, for example, it's like playing soccer and you score a goal and the referee says, no, that's outlawed, it's not a goal. You just have to acclimatize, get used to the new rules and improve. And it's been only 2 years, so probably we have room to improve.
Yes, now that brings me to the question exactly. When you say that the World Bank changed the methodology, now the question is, now when the World Bank used to follow how the authorization of how business is done, and maybe this time the World Bank is looking at more on the practical ground on how business is really done. A lot of people have been saying, we have the policies, we have what it takes. You can register your business within 1 day. But the question is, what comes after you register your business? Lots of complaints in terms of getting access to electricity. Getting electricity, water supply, some of the things that were mentioned in the report that brought us down. And I'm beginning to suspect maybe it's time that the World Bank has seen that they've been focusing more on policies than the practical things on the ground. Do you think maybe somehow, somewhere, we went wrong on what's really done on the ground than what's more done in the policies?
Maybe we concentrated on a few indicators and we didn't concentrate enough on the others. That's what I see. Because like
what are those indicators?
We improved, for example, on getting credit. Last year we were number 4. This year we are number 2. Now, if people who are doing business in Rwanda are telling you that they find it very easy for them to get credit, that's the most important thing. If you start your business, no matter how hard it is, but you're able to get the credit to keep it running, that's a very important thing, because we tied in the 2nd position with countries like United States and Colombia. Obviously, New Zealand was number 1. So you have to it's a take and give. But you're right. We need to now because the World Bank, if I read properly somewhere, they are saying that it's high time countries started to concentrate on the quality of their regulations. It's not about saying it takes only 6 hours to register business. You now have to look at the smaller little bits. And what I see, and probably the advice that the government of Rwanda should take from this report, is to listen, because this survey is based on answers that they get from people who are doing business here. There are several questions on each indicator, and it's a yes or no. So if traders are saying no to certain questions in this survey, it is high time that we started listening. What are they saying? And then we take action, because that's it. Because the Doing Business report is a key reference point for people seeking to do business in Rwanda and every country. If a foreign investor wants to come open a business in Rwanda, this is one of the documents they go to. So you're right when you say that we need to look at the quality of our regulations. And how do we do that? We have to talk to the beneficiaries of these regulations. Are they working, or they're just good on paper? And once we do that, I think in reports to come, our figures will look up.
And that exactly. Now, if you look at the report, one of the key issues that disturbed me was the cross-border trade. To me, at this point, numbers tend to show that Rwanda is on a good track. Maybe you said it, other countries have other problems that maybe could make Rwanda lose its focus on the cross-border trade. But then that leaves me, if you look at how Kenya is presently doing in terms of the economy, they're not so poor like they were doing in the last few months. If you look at Uganda right now, they're not doing so bad. And cross-border seems to be, if you look at the numbers, seems to be getting better. Now for me, the question is, for example, if you look, I'm saying this on a market because Rwanda is focusing on the 150 large market. We're having, of course, fluctuating prices. Rwanda is attracted less foreign less foreign investment than Uganda and Kenya, but then things with the cross-border trade are getting better. This report shows we're dropping so bad that I think was one of the key issues that made us drop at least 7 positions down. Do you think somehow the economies maybe of all these countries within the East African region are not supporting Rwanda's economic growth and helping increase its numbers? Or you think it's a problem within the system here?
No, I think that there is a particular reason why we seemed to be dropping on doing business.
And what's
borders.
that reason?
I may not remember so well, but in the report they said there is just one particular factor that they say actually contributed to this drop. And it is simple, because if the report gives you a reason, it means it points you to your weakness. And like I said, it's very simple, because this is not the last report. It's not a condemnation. It's not a death sentence for the Rwandan economy. It is very easy. We just need to look at what caused this drop, address it. But in addressing it, you have to be careful on emerging factors. Because like I said, if you concentrate on one, there are other 9 factors that you have to look at. So if you over-concentrate on this, and then you will drop on the other next year. And so it's a very complicated survey to keep up with, but it is good because it keeps governments on the tenterhooks. It keeps governments on their toes to make sure that they have the best, the very best, or if they can't have the very best, they do their best to get the best doing business environment they can have.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kenneth. I know this discussion can go on, but for now, I'd like to thank you so much for taking off your time to come and join us in the studio.
You're welcome.
We hope to see you next time, maybe.
All right.
All right, you're watching Rise and Shine Rwanda. We'll be right back.
It's unbelievable, but what you see is what you pay.
Okay, let's get to this business. Yvette Shumbusho has the details.
Business stories making headlines today. Gross Wheels, which has actually started this year, has been formally launched after a successful trial period with 25 customers. For now, it only operates in Kigali, but founder and chief executive officer, Gael Murara, told Disrupt Africa it plans to expand further within Rwanda and elsewhere in Africa. He stated that people cannot easily access information on where to find the best products at the best prices, and they have to make multiple stops to fill a shopping cart. Self-funded so far, Gross Wheels is seeking investments to scale its business. The startup makes money via commissions and also plans to add advertising to its site once traffic is sufficiently high. John Baptiste Nyonghuru operates a 24/7 mechanic business. Nyonghuru and team devised a strategy of moving door to door, providing 24-hour services. Under their group, there is a combination of welding, electronical, and plumbing services to beat competitors. His team designed an approach of not only visiting new building sites, but also reaching out to individual clients that are likely to be in the need of these services. The initiative seems to have paid off, as the firm serves over 250 customers annually. Richard Murunziza, head of marketing within the team, that says that besides the business being convenient for customers, it assures them of reliability. The team imports most of the materials they use and provides good services. However, these at times affect their earnings. It will now be easy for Rwandans to access quality roofing materials thanks to the launch of a new company. The plant, located in Kigali's Special Economic Zone in Nyandungu, Gasabo District, will specialize in the manufacture of stone-coated steel roofing tiles. The tiles are trending under the brand name Hippo. SH Industries Rwanda is a joint venture partnership between Rwanda's Horizon Group and Sisei Investments, owned by an Ethiopian investor. Getnet Motel, the SH Industries Rwanda Chief Executive Officer, said the companies could actually reduce import bill for steel-coated roofing tiles by 50%. You are now up to date with business headlines. Sports news coming in just a minute with Moses Birikunzira.
Welcome back to Rise and Shine Rwanda. Time now for your sports news. I'm Moses Bilikunzira. Starting with local football. Rwanda head coach Johnny McKinsley has named a strong squad to face Libya in the 2018 FIFA World Cup second round of qualification, with the first leg set for November 13th in Sfaxi, Tunisia. McKinsley announced the squad on Monday at the Ferwafa headquarters includes recently injured right back Michel Rusheshangoga and left back Abuba Sibomana, who passed fitness test over the weekend. The return leg will be played in November 17th at Kigali Amahoro Stadium. Now on to the European football. Chelsea boss gets stadium ban and fine of £40,000. Chelsea manager Jose Mourinho has been given a one-match stadium ban with immediate effect and also fined £40,000 by Football Association. The punishment comes after Mourinho admitted a misconduct charge over the language and behavior in the match against West Ham. Mourinho, 52, was sent to the stands after going to speak in referee John Moss in the room at halftime. He will miss Chelsea league game at Stoke on Saturday unless appears. The stadium ban is separate to suspended one for comments he made after the loss to Southampton on October 3rd. And the follow-up of UEFA Champions League. Inform Arsenal visits Bayern Munich today. The Champions League continues today as Arsenal knows they have what it takes to beat Bayern Munich. However, doing it in Germany may prove tough as they visit Bayern Munich in Group F. Barcelona hosts Bad Borisov in Group E. Chelsea plays Dynamo Kiev in Group G.
So Moses, of course, I'm looking forward to today's match. It's Arsenal versus Bayern Munich. Of course, that's a derby. I'm pretty sure everyone is waiting for that tonight. But do you think Arsenal would do it at Bayern? Because it's never easy to take points from any German team, especially at home.
Chelsea did it, and Arsenal did it. It's not the first time for Arsenal to beat Bayern Munich. They beat them 2-0 in 2013. So it won't be the first time for Arsenal to go and beat Bayern Munich at their stadium, Allianz Arena. The informed Arsenal team, the only problem they have now is the injury of Theo Walcott and Chamberlain, because Wenger had already found a way to use a certain striker for a certain tactic of a certain game. So it's a setback for Arsene Wenger, but I'm very sure that he has people who can really deliver in Mesut Ozil, Cazorla. There is Alex Sanchez, and also the Mertesacker, who is German, who knows the Germany football. So it's going to be tough for Bayern Munich, of course, but also it's not going to be easy again.
So do you think would you predict a very closed match or a very open game tonight?
A very closed match with one goal margin, one goal difference.
Why a very one goal margin? Why are you limiting us to
it can be 2-1. It's
a German team, remember?
Yeah.
It could go for 5 goals.
But Arsenal is going to attack. Arsenal is going to defend. It's not going to defend because Arsenal has only 3 points in the group out of 9. So if they defend, it means they are likely to miss out of the group stages. So they have to attack, and actually Bayern Munich will defend because they have good midfielders. We said they have a midfield trio in Alonso, Vidal, and Alcantara. You know, they are going to defend somehow. I fancy Arsenal to win the game by 2-1 tonight.
Oh, of course. I always end with the question, who do you think is taking it tonight?
That's what I'm saying. I just said I fancy Arsenal to take it tonight.
Okay, I can't wait for
on 2-1.
Of course.
Arsenal fans, if you see that.
I can't wait. Now, on to talking about Jose Mourinho. I'm pretty sure the saga has gone beyond his limits right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's been in hot water for the past few weeks with the FA. Now, at this point, I think his future is kind of undetermined, be it his career and be it at Chelsea. What do you think the fine will affect on the Chelsea side?
Of course, a lot, because he, according to the reports, the Chelsea board had given him 2 games to save his job. Those 2 games include Dynamo Kiev, that happened yesterday, and of course the Stoke City game that coming up in this weekend. Unluckily, that stock game, he's not going to be on the touchline, not even in the stadium, which means he'll be watching the game like any one of us who are miles away from the stadium. So it's going to affect himself.
Don't you think this is affecting Chelsea's team spirit?
Of course. And interestingly,
do you think it's time for Ibrahimovic to react?
Definitely. And interestingly, as I was about to say, there are reports that are suggesting that Carlo Ancelotti, former Chelsea coach, who won a double in 2010, and a former Chelsea, Makelele, could take over after Mourinho is sacked next time.
Thank you so much for that. Okay, then we'll be right back after the break.
It's unbelievable, but what you see is what you pay.
Rwanda's next top model will have the winner among 30 beauties at the grand finale on November 6, 2015. Rwanda's next top model has had series of auditions all across the country since September. The 10 finalists will showcase their sensibility, intelligence, grace, dignity, and beauty at the grand finale for the crown of Rwanda's next top model on November 6th at Serena Hotel. The winner is selected as a result of online voting and selection by the judges. The winner will also automatically qualify for Africa's Next Top Model and will also participate in the International Fashion Week. International Fashion Week. Besides that, she will represent Rwanda at the Commonwealth Fashion Week in London and will also have a one-year contract with a Canadian modeling agency. The second will become face of a Polish company that deals in cosmetics, GK. An American company will also provide hair products to the winners for 1 year.
So Rwanda's next top model. Was there first?
There was never a first, so this is the
The first.
yeah. I
next top
was
model.
thinking, why is it next? Why did we just have Rwanda's top model? There's never been a previous one.
Anyway.
Yeah, so it's happening on Saturday, and it's really heated up. Preparations for it were major preparations. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay, so kindly just tell us about the criteria. I mean, there are 30 beauties,
Yes.
and there's only going to be one
There's only
winner.
going to be one.
So how do they come down to one winner?
Well, there were 30 that were chosen around the country, and now they only have chosen now 10 of them who are going to go for the boot camp.
Oh.
And then from the boot camp, no, the 30 of them are going for the boot camp.
Okay.
And then from the boot camp, only 10 of them will qualify for the finals on Saturday.
Okay.
So the criteria is basically it's etiquette, it's fitness, it's even definitely body features and all that.
And catwalk.
And catwalk and, natural features and so many stuff.
I mean, I've seen it being advertised everywhere.
Very
so who
much.
could be sponsoring this whole event?
The major sponsor is Techno Mobile,
Oh.
but then there is also the Embassy of Canada, Embassy of Netherlands. There's a lot of foreign input in it, emphasis in it. There's also Kenya Airways. There's also Hotel Karisimbi. There's really many of them. I really can't. The list is really big, and that's one thing that really surprised me. I was like, I don't think there's ever been any event that was this supported,
Exactly.
by especially international organizations and companies.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see who's going to win.
I'm really waiting. And the thing is, the organizer was saying this is going to give a platform to the young Rwanda ladies that they can actually live off just being a model. So that's why there's a lot of emphasis on it and marketing and empowerment.
Do you think that is actually possible?
It is very possible. Very
Here in
possible.
Rwanda?
Here in Rwanda, very possible.
Really?
Especially when you look at the prizes they're giving them.
Okay.
Yeah, which is so much.
Could you remind us the prizes, like the first?
The first one is being on the cover faces of very many companies.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh, great.
Right.
All right. So I guess it is worth it.
very much.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome back, and it's that hot topics time again. As always, the Rise and Shine Rwanda team have been up and about, gathering everything you need to know about what's happening here and abroad, from what's trending on Twitter to the debates in your local cafe. We've got it all for you right here, right now. So to begin with, in the past 8 months, the famous group One Direction from England has been on a world tour, which they ended on the 31st of October 2015 in Sheffield in England. So it was rather very emotional and sentimental show for the fans. So this is a group of young guys. There are 4 of them. I think you all know them. One Direction. They have perfect music, good stuff. So they did a tour around the world, and they've ended it in Sheffield in England. And it was rather very, very sentimental and very emotional for the fans. They were just crying the whole time. You can see what was going on. So I think it's a big win for them because they just started. I don't think they've been in existence for more than 10 years, and they're really
No,
doing
definitely not. I think it's been 3 years.
3 years.
maximum.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't even think
Actually,
it's
One Direction is doing a very great job,
It
starting
is,
from.
right?
If you look at their albums since last year, I mean, they've been doing a great job on the Billboard. And I mean, if this tour came at the right time, and of course, it was a very emotional time for them. But you know what? That was it.
Yeah, and I also think that the target audience was really. They have a specific target audience who are very
Girls.
emotional people. The
Of
ladies.
course, of course.
So it touched
Youth
them.
and
More like
ladies.
girls.
Yes.
Yeah, girls. Yeah. Girls more like
Teenage girls.
Teenage girls.
Yeah,
so-
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a really good one for them. And now, very interesting. There is an Indian African summit which has begun already and will conclude on Thursday. And representatives of 54 nations of Africa are a part of the convention. So now, this is the catch. The king of Swaziland, Mswati III, is within the nation with 15 of his wives, 30 of his children, and tons of his servants. His servants are actually, they said, estimated like 100 of them. And they've just gone for a summit that's probably a week long. It started a few days ago.
15 of his wives.
They had to go, 15 of his wives.
30 of his
Economy-
children.
Economically, that guy is killing the country because you can't take all those people and they're on you. It's not. There's nothing else they're gonna do. They're not going to bring anything to the country. It's just you. I mean,
Who's catering for them? I mean, how?
Definitely, it's the government of Swaziland.
of course, he's the king. You know,
No one is going to give foreign
Did you
aid
check
to
outside now?
your clan.
Did they book a whole hotel or something?
They
like that?
actually did. They booked 200 rooms
Oh, God.
in the hotel that they went to, and it's a 5-star, mind you. It's
Yeah,
a 5-star.
it's
Oh my
Africa.
God.
Africa, you know.
The culture is still
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Swaziland.
I
Yes,
don't
Yvette.
understand it at all. I mean, 15. Are the 15 wives in total? So
No,
those,
no, no. Those are just the ones he took.
How many does he
Hundreds
have?
of them are left behind.
No, those are just like the last 15 wives.
Of course. I mean, yes.
He couldn't take 5?
No, it's, I don't think so.
How did he get to 15?
Come on,
So Swati, you know.
So anyway, that's all the hot topics I have for you today.
Don't forget, we love to hear your thoughts, comments, and feedback on what we're talking about here on Rise and Shine Rwanda. Tweet us at Rise and Shine RW. Like us on Facebook and send us your ideas for programs. Check out our Rise and Shine Rwanda YouTube page where you can catch all the shows and reports we do. Find us on Instagram, Rise and Shine RW. We love to see your pictures. Or check out our Rise and Shine RW website, www.riseandshinerwanda.com. Well, that's all the time we have for today. We love to hear your feedback and do let us know if you have any ideas for programs. You've been watching Rise and Shine Rwanda with me, Yvette Chimbusho.
And me, Ivan Magwena, will be here same time, same place tomorrow. Do join us then. But for now, from both of us and the rest of the Rise and Shine team, have a very good day. Goodbye.
Bye bye.